Oh!
Dad,
Yes?
are we reading up to
The next
here?
page. Are we reading up to
I'll
the
tell you
next
guys
page?
where we're reading. So what's our topic again?
Exodus 20.
No, our topic today is
Oh.
a stolen vineyard. Yeah?
Yeah,
A stolen vineyard.
that means from
Yeah.
in the Egypt.
So our memory verse is Exodus chapter 20 verse 15, and it says, You shall not steal. So Exodus chapter 20 verse 15,
Exodus chapter 20 verse 15.
and it says,
You
shall not steal. Okay?
Yeah.
So our reading is going to be 1 Kings chapter 21.
The Kings?
Yeah.
We've done that already.
Okay, so chapter 21 verse 1 to 22. Yeah?
That's the next page, and I was asking that.
So this is a story of Naboth's vineyard. Yeah? And it's a clear example of you know how it's bad to take someone that doesn't belong to you. Yeah. So Ahab in this story behaved in a very childish way. When he could not get what he wanted, he sulked and whined. This kind of behavior resulted in judgment and murder, as we learn. Yeah, that's what we're going to learn
What's
today.
murder?
Murder is when you kill someone. Yeah.
So he killed someone, then he wanted.
Because he wanted their property, what belongs to them, isn't it? So, okay, so let's start reading. So we're going to read.
But I thought he owned a vineyard.
No, it was Ahab that did it. The vineyard belongs to Naboth, yeah?
Yeah.
But Ahab wanted it, so he was greedy.
Oh.
Yeah, Ahab is a king. We're going to find out when we read it anyway. Okay, so do you want to read the first?
So Ahab found some animals, then he made a farm.
No, it belongs to Naboth, not Ahab. But we're going to read it. We're going to learn everything, okay? So read the first 4 verses, so from 1 to 4, Zara, quickly.
A man named Naboth owned a vineyard. It was in Jezreel, near the place, near the palace of King Ahab
Of Israel.
One day, Ahab said to Naboth, "Give me your vineyard. It is near my palace. I want to make it into a vegetable garden. I will give you a better vineyard in its place. Or if you prefer, I will pay you what it's worth." Naboth answered, "May the Lord keep me from ever giving my land to you. It belongs to my family." So Ahab went home, angry and upset. He did not want Naboth from Jezreel. He said, Naboth has said, "I will not."
Where are you? What number?
So Ahab can take it because he's the king.
So, have you read this? He went home angry. Have you read that? Okay, so that's where we need to stop. Number 4, yeah? So we can learn from here, yeah? That Naboth, yeah, had a good vineyard to plant grapes, yeah? And Ahab was the king of Israel.
So he's supposed to take whatever he wants.
Well, but that's not good. If he takes whatever he wants, then what happens to people's lands? That's being greedy, because kings have a lot of things anyway. Do you get it?
Yeah.
They have a lot of things anyway. So, and Naboth is just a farmer. He doesn't have a lot. So why does he also want
So
their
he
land?
only has a little bit of money.
Yeah, he only has a little bit of money and land. And that same land, that's what Ahab wanted to take. And obviously,
So he wanted to take all his money.
he wanted to take all his land that he used to farm to get money. Okay? So, Ahab told Naboth to sell his land to him, but he refused. So Naboth said he would not be able to sell the land because obviously it belongs to his family. And you know how like families give their land to their children as well. So if he sold it to him, then he wouldn't have any land to give to his children too. So he said no. So Ahab got very angry because he was very upset because he's not like used to people refusing him.
After he got angry, he got his sword, then killed the farmer.
Murder means you use a gun to do.
We when we get there, we'll learn that. Okay, so let's just do this part. Yeah. So he went home and told his wife. His wife is called Jezebel.
Jezebel.
An evil queen. She was an evil queen.
We've heard that evil queen before.
Okay. Yeah, the one that wanted to kill the prophets. Yeah?
So they did. There was a real good and a pretend good.
Yeah, so she was the one that wanted to kill the people that worship the real God. Okay, so now Jezebel knew what had happened, and she became very angry as well, because she was like, how dare Naboth refuse the king to give the king what he wanted, right? So she told the king to get up and eat as she was going to get the vineyard for him. Okay?
So she was the one
I've
who
read
killed
past
him.
that already. I'm reading that in my head. I've went past that.
You went that past. Oh, you went past that. Okay. So I'm going to read the next part. Yeah? Yeah? So this is where Jezebel, like, she hatched an evil plan. Yeah?
She wrote some letters and signed them with Ahab's name.
Okay. So I'm going to read now, yeah? So his wife Jezebel came in and asked him, "Why are you sullen? Why won't you eat?" He answered her, "Because I said to Naboth the Jezreelite, 'Sell me your vineyard, or, if you prefer, I will give you another vineyard in its place.' But he said, 'I will not give you my vineyard.' Jezebel, his wife, said, 'Is this how you act as king over Israel? Get up and eat. Cheer up. I will get the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite.' So she wrote letters in Ahab's name, placed his seal on them, and sent them to the elders and nobles who lived in Naboth's city with him. In those letters she wrote, 'Proclaim a day of fasting and seat Naboth in a prominent place among the people. But seat two scoundrels opposite him and have them testify that he had cursed both God and the king. Then take him out and stone.'" Tara, what are you doing? Listen. "Then take him out." Yes?
My one says troublemakers.
Huh?
My one says troublemakers.
Yeah, it's a different version. So, yeah. So, scoundrels opposite him and testify that he has cursed God and the king, and take him out and stone him to death. So the elders and nobles who lived in Naboth's city did as Jezebel directed in the letters she had written to them. They proclaimed a fast and seated Naboth in the prominent place among the people. Then two scoundrels came, two troublemakers, like he said, came and sat opposite him and brought charges against Naboth before the people, saying, Naboth has cursed both God and the king. So they took him outside the city and stoned him to death. Then they sent word to Jezebel.
What does that mean?
They sent a message.
No, like they stoned him to death.
So they used stones and threw big stones, big rocks on him.
So they had a ginormous rock, then put it on his head.
And they put like big stones and were throwing it on him until he died.
Uh-huh.
So Tara, wait. Then they sent word to Jezebel. Naboth has been stoned and he is dead. As soon as Jezebel heard that Naboth has been stoned to death, she said to Ahab, "Get up and take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite that he refused to sell to you. He is no longer alive but dead." Yeah? When Ahab heard that Naboth was dead, he got up and went down to take the vineyard. Yeah?
How do you take a vineyard when it's a whole garden?
So you just go there and start planting whatever you want to do with it, like as if it's your own.
Wait, so you dig up all that he's grown, throw it out,
Yeah.
and you plant whatever was there.
Or you build a house or do whatever you want to do on it. Yeah. So this is obviously this story, this part of the story is very easy. It's very easy to understand, right?
Yeah.
So he planned, Jezebel, the wife, the evil queen, planned and got people to lie against Naboth, because in the Old Testament, it's a crime to curse the king and curse God. Yeah. So they lied against Naboth. Yeah. So that they would kill him. Do you understand? So that's what happened. And obviously after that, because he's not alive anymore, he was dead, isn't it? Then King Ahab went and took over the land. Okay? So do you want to read the last verses or do you want me to read?
I don't know where you're up to.
So it'll be from 17. 17.
I'm still at
So-
this page.
It's fine. 17 to 22. That'll be the last.
So you were nearly done.
Yeah.
At this time, the Lord spoke his word to Elijah. Elijah was the prophet from Tishbe. The Lord said, "Go to King Ahab of Israel, who rules in Samaria. He is at Naboth's vineyard to take it as his own. Tell Ahab that I, Lord, said to him, Ahab, you have murdered Naboth and have taken his land. So tell you this, in the same place that Naboth died, you will also die. The dogs that licked up Naboth's blood will lick your blood in the same place." When Ahab saw Elijah, he said, "So you have found me, my enemy." Elijah answered, "Yes, I have found you. You always have chosen to do what the Lord says is wrong. So the Lord says to you, I will destroy you, I will kill you, and every male in your family, both slave and free. Your family will be like the family of King Jeroboam, son of Naboth, and it will be like the family of King Baasha, son of Ahijah. Both of these families were completely destroyed. I will do this to you because you have made me angry, and
Okay.
you have caused people of Israel to sin.
Okay. Good. So that's the last verse. So
it's up to there though.
no for the lesson. That's where we end the reading for the lesson. Yeah. So God had seen everything, and He was not very happy with what He did, taking other them planning to kill Naboth and also taking his land. Yeah. And remember what we read in our memory verse. What does it say?
You
You shall not steal. And what is stealing?
taking other people's things.
Taking other people's things, without their permission. So he asked for it. Ahab asked for it,
But that's already getting permission.
but he refused. He didn't give him the permission to take his land. Do you get it?
Yeah.
He asked for the land, and Naboth said, "No, it's for my family. I don't want to sell it, and I'm not giving it to you." So because he refused to give it to them, they then planned another way to kill him so that they can take his land. Do you get it?
But then he won't have any children.
Because he's dead, and that's why God was angry with them, because God doesn't like when people kill and take other people's stuff. Do you understand? So God, that's why God sent Elijah to go and tell him that God was angry because they stole Naboth's land, and he informed him that God will make him suffer for what he has done. Yeah. And God said He would destroy his family because they have sinned and caused trouble. Yeah. So Ahab had a lot of trouble in his own life. His family also suffered. His sins caused problems for other people. It cost Naboth's land, his life, and made also made people to lie against Naboth and kill him. And it caused sadness in Naboth's family. So stealing is not good. Stealing causes trouble. So it's not good to steal. Yeah? Because God doesn't like it. Okay?
And the Ten Commandments, it says
You shall not steal. So what we just read, the Exodus chapter 20 that we just read, is actually one of the things from the Ten Commandments. Because, that's where God's, told us what He doesn't like. Okay? So, questions. Should we do questions?
Yes, but I need to tell you something.
Yeah, go on.
We read First Kings, not Exodus.
No, our memory verse is from Exodus. Remember, Exodus chapter 20, verse 15.
I know that.
So that's what I'm saying. Where
I
our
think,
memory verse. That's what I mean.
I don't get it.
Dad,
So hold on. Our texts, Bible text, like the passage we read, the story is from First Kings, but our memory verse, one verse that we have to remember all the time, is called memory verse. So it's from Exodus chapter 20, verse 15.
I get why it's called memory verse.
Good. So that's the difference. Okay, stories, questions. Yeah?
I think I want to do it tomorrow.
No, it's part of the lesson. We have to do it now. It's almost finished anyway. Okay, so first question. What did Naboth own that Ahab wanted? So answer, A, house inherited from his father, cattle and livestock. C, a vineyard. D, wife and children.
C.
C is what?
A vineyard.
A vineyard. Okay. Question number 2. What did Ahab do when Naboth refused to give him what he wanted?
Killed him.
So these are the answers. A, he became upset and refused to eat. B, he killed himself. C, he resigned from being the king. And D, he left Naboth alone with his inheritance. Tara, what is it?
He killed a. I forgot his name.
Naboth?
Yeah.
Okay, so the answer is he became upset and refused to eat. Remember, he went on and he refused to eat, and then Jezebel hashed that plan. Yeah. 3. How did Ahab finally get what he wanted from Naboth? So I'll just leave. I won't read out the answers. I'll just let you guys tell me what it is. So how did he finally get what he wanted?
Jezebel killed his. No.
Zara, you're not meant to be reading from there. Tell me.
I want to see the answers.
No,
though.
I said I'm not reading out the answers. You tell me from your head. How did Ahab get the what he wanted?
Jezebel killed Naboth.
And then he took the land. Yeah? And number 4, that's the last question. Tara, what message did God
No, what was the answer?
no, you got the right answer.
Oh.
Okay, so last question. What message from God did Elijah bring to Ahab? What was the message that God gave to?
I can't read all of it.
No, tell me, whatever you remember. What did Ahab, the prophet, tell Ahab?
That Ahab is going to die too. And the dogs will lick his blood too.
Good.
In the same place where the
Naboth.
Naboth died.
Good. Anything else?
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, you've answered a lot of questions, so.
I was only 2.
But you answered 2, and she answered
1.
1.
Oh, I wish there were
More questions?
10,000 questions.
No, but you know the answers. You can still add to say that God said that that their children are gonna die too. So there's other things, and obviously you can put the reason because God was not happy with what they did, isn't it? Stealing. So that's more things you can add to the question.
So the lesson is done for today.
Almost, yeah. So Tara, what did you learn from today's story?
Not to steal.
What
Don't
else?
kill anyone.
Okay. Zara, what did you learn?
I learned that you should be kind to others and you should do nice things for them too. You shouldn't murder people and you should learn not to steal.
Good.
I have one more thing to say.
Yeah, go on.
Don't make bad plans to make people sad.
Okay, yeah, because God is seeing you, isn't it? Because Ahab and Jezebel made those bad, really evil plans, but they thought God wasn't seeing them, isn't it? And then God had to send the prophet to tell them that I've seen everything you're doing, and you're gonna get judged, isn't it? You're gonna get punished for all the bad things you're doing. Okay, so that's the story for today. The stolen vineyard. So let's remember everything we've learned. Tara, pray for us.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Father, we thank you for all the stuff you've done. Please help us not to be rude. Help us to be kind. Please be kind. Don't make the coronavirus touch us. Please make our family happy. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Father, we thank you for helping us to look after ourselves during this moment of coronavirus. Please help us to stay safe and don't let it touch us. Please shield us with your power and your might. Please be a great help for us and show and protect us from the coronavirus in Jesus' name.
Amen. Surely God's goodness and mercy shall follow us
all the days of our lives, and we shall dwell in the presence of the Lord forever. Amen. Peace and bless you.
God bless you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Right, that was a quick one, wasn't it?
Yeah.